Piers Morgan just put the nail in the coffin of Russell Brand's disgusting grift. He's been using Christianity and the Bible to make us forgive him for his disgusting deeds, such as, I don't know, being involved with a minor. We'll get back to the video shortly, but I wanted to let you guys know this video is being sponsored by Kalshi. Kalshi is an app where you can make money predicting current events. I put money on what the weather is gonna be every day on Kalshi. I check the weather app when I wake up. And really all I do is I look at what the highest temperature is gonna be for the day. Then I go on Kalshi and place a prediction on what I think the highest temperature is gonna be for the day. I'll say probably 7 out of 10 times my weather prediction hits. Sometimes it doesn't hit. But if you wanna get paid by predicting weather on a daily basis, you can do so on Kalshi by clicking the link in my description and downloading the app and using code FLACO to get $10 on your first deposit. So this clown is attempting to hide behind two very real things, the Bible and the red pill. So he will say things like that are, they're statement of fact, such as, powerful people are evil, the system is corrupt. Things that nobody can really argue with, but then he will follow that up with, you see, they hate me because I'm telling the truth. That's why they're trying to persecute me and put these allegations on me. And then he will use religion to back that up. And Piers Morgan just called him straight up to his face, you are a massive grifter.
That got us in this mess in the first place, I wouldn't have thought so.
I can find a lot you say about corporate power and political power and media power. I can find myself nodding along thinking, yeah, you're making good points. It's inarguable that there has been abuse and corruption and unfair influence and bias in all of those things, right? But here's my problem, if I may put it to you, where I think you sit. You talked about sitting on the fence, and it's a little bit, some would describe it as a grift. They'd say, come on, Russell, you change your mind about stuff and a sixpence, right? And
no, that's what they say about you, actually.
Well, sure, but I'm interviewing you, right? So my point is...
So you think that you can command the old channel?
I'm not saying I believe this. I'm saying there are people who think you're basically just a massive grifter, that you're very smart, you're very eloquent, you can be very persuasive with the power of your words, but that actually when it comes to any of these issues, you don't really have a personal principled view.
I do, and it's...
The problem here is the shtick he's attempted to do is 4 to 5 years old. We've already seen it. We've seen it during the pandemic when all these people were being deplatformed and having their social medias taken away and being demonetized. And they were being demonetized for being horrible human beings, right? For being racist, for being terrible. And they would come online and say, the Matrix is after me. I got demonetized because I tweeted the N-word 10 times, but it's the Matrix. The elites is terrified of my message. It's all right, bro. We already went through this playbook, so right now it's easy to spot. And he just so fake and disingenuous with it. For God's sakes, dude started off the interview trying to disarm Piers Morgan by asking to pray to start the interview.
Let's come to this. Save your best lines.
Look, I know we're both English, but do you mind if I pray? Sure. Before.
Sure.
Oh, God, help us have a...
Bro, when that man laid hands on Piers Morgan to pray, Piers Morgan's face felt like Satan just touched him. But he did all that performative stuff just to absolutely fumble when Piers Morgan simply asked him to recite the Bible verse that he was talking about or he was reading. And he absolutely this is when the entire grift fell apart. Now, there were signs beforehand, but if you had any doubt that this whole Bible Christianity stuff was a grift, this was the moment that it all fell apart.
And I suppose if to really go into it, I think is, this is a person I could probably learn from and benefit from, but there'd have to be trust. And it's hard to trust because I sometimes think you're too caught in the world that you used to be in. And
Can I go back to asking you a question about your Bible?
Yes, if you want to.
Thank you. Was that the one you took into court?
You're the very one.
Okay. What was your thinking of taking it into court? And what you were seeing, looking at some passages, what were the relevant passages for you?
All right. Thank you for asking me.
Thank you. That didn't hurt, did it?
A little bit. It was this from Isaiah. And you're right, Bear did say, be chilled. Sometimes I lose the chill, man. It's pretty... Is this? They don't like that, do they, in the old gallery? But remember, you just said it's a hired spot. This is from Isaiah. Excuse me. Man, I'm not going to mark it before. It says here,
Piers looked at the camera like it was an episode of The Office. Piers couldn't believe, Piers thought you would at least try to perfect your grift if you're coming on like this national platform. This is a platform that's international. It's the UK, it's America, it's in Africa. You would at least be slick enough to perfect your grift if you're coming on, right? That's how you can tell he hasn't even thought this through, bruh. I'm telling you right now, the allegations came, the very disgusting, nasty allegations came, and the first thing he did was, pick up a Bible and start talking about the elites and the powerful so he can fall behind it on a crutch. So when he goes to court and he gets found guilty, undoubtedly, when he gets found guilty of all the nasty things he's currently been accused of by multiple women, he can fall back on a crutch and say, they are persecuting me because I'm a proud Christian. And it's dangerous and hella effective because it's a real thing. There are actual governments out here persecuting people who are truth tellers. There are actual governments out here persecuting people who declare the truth in the name of the Lord. That happens. That's a very real thing. So these grifters, these devils would hide behind this because they understand it's a real reality, right? So they start to push the Bible thumping like a mug as much as possible. So when they finally get accountability for their disgusting crimes, they now sit back and say, you see, they persecute, man, I told too much truths. The matrix came after me. But he's so dumb, he's not even slick enough to stick to the grift, man. Piers Morgan waited for, it felt like 3 hours watching this, bro. It was awkward. Piers Morgan waited. Piers didn't say a thing. He let him drown. Eventually, he just admit, man, I can't find, wait, what you mean you can't find it? You read it that often? You read the Bible that much that you can't, you don't know the verse in your head? Or you don't know the verse? Bro, you should say, hey, man, John 3:14, right? It should go there. But he can't recall the quote-unquote verse that he was thinking about all day and reading all day. He eventually had to settle and admit, man, I can't find it, and then just read some random stuff.
The verse that I was looking at that day was not this. I can't actually find the verse that I had that day. But this is good enough. This is from Isaiah 12. I will praise you, Lord. Although you were angry with me, your anger has turned away, and you have comforted me. Surely God is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid. The Lord himself is my strength and my defense. What I was looking at before is that there's a bit where he says, see, I'm doing a new thing, Isaiah says, like springs in the...
This dweeb is absolutely unhinged. He does this entire shtick. He starts to get soft-spoken to disarm Piers. But, Piers does not get disarmed, right? What happens immediately after he gets done through that little soft-spoken stuff, Piers then begins to press him on his faith, right? One, what's your denomination? Now, not all Christian got a denomination, but... right, that's important if you do have one. So, he starts to get a little bit rattled, and then Piers begin to press him on how he personally went from atheist to Buddhist to this and now to Christian. And once Piers brought that up, he absolutely unleashes. He gives up the soft-spoken act, and he goes into this unhinged performative shtick.
Not that God isn't real.
Is she a believer as well? She is committed as you?
She and I, me and my wife Laura, her beliefs are very different from mine, in a way. like I suppose it would be, because it's hitting a very different prism in her. But we've certainly got a real alliance. And neither of us have got any, like, even, I suppose why I got rankled even at the asking about the denomination is because it's so beautiful in its purity and its formlessness.
But most Christians have no problem saying what denomination they are.
It's not like I've got a problem with it. I've got this challenge.
And I'm a Catholic, I've got no problem telling you.
I know, but you're very different. You're very different.
But why? Why is it so difficult to answer?
It's not difficult to answer. I'm really interested in Catholicism. Really interested.
Because you were an
I
atheist.
kind of love it.
You then were a Buddhist.
See, that's like that.
Oh,
when I
these
try
are
to tell you,
facts.
that's antagonistic.
No, it's not. It's factual.
I'm like,
you were an atheist.
what are you going to be next?
You were a yes.
Muslim?
That's what some
A Jew?
people.
A Scientologist?
That's what some people think.
Hitler. What do you think about Hitler?
That's what some
Was he
people
okay?
think. That's what some people
Should we
think.
get the jab?
Russell,
Have you vaccinated your own children?
take Bear's advice and calm down.
No, you take Bear's advice and be a good man.
I am a good
be
man.
Be a good man.
I'm just
and no, it
pointing-
costs you to be a good man.
You may not.
It might
like,
cost you everything.
You might not like.
It might cost you everything
Russell,
to become one, but
Russell,
you can do it.
You might not.
You can
like,
do it, Piers.
Russell, these are basic facts. You were an atheist. You then became a Buddhist.
No,
now
they're
you're
not,
a Christian.
Good. They're not basic facts. They're not basic facts. They're information being tailored and collated.
Is it not true?
Yeah. You are attempting to create, using a collage of language.
But you're the one who told us these
You
things.
told us that.
You were. You told us you were an atheist.
Israel's got the right to protect itself.
Yeah.
This is a genocide. Don't take that COVID shot. Take the COVID shot. Ah! Listen.
The entire mask came off. Like, the entire mask came off. Like, that whole holier than thou Christian, that entire mask came off, and he showed how much of a lunatic he is. I didn't needed this moment to know he was a lunatic. I didn't need, like, to wait until he crashed out and show his car. No, I didn't need this. No, I knew he was a lunatic, right? The moment he said this out of his mouth.
In Europe and in the United Kingdom where I'm from, the age of consent is 16. And I did sleep with a 16-year-old when I was 30. But when I was 30, I was a very different person. I was a lot younger and I was an immature 30-year-old. Consensual sex, actually, with a variety of people, when there is a strong power differential, as there is when you're a famous man that has the ability to attract women that I had at that time, I think involves exploitation.
Now, what's been interesting is the way that's played out, because you were right in what you said. It was perfectly legal for you to have sex with a 16-year-old girl in the UK. That's the law. In America, here in New York, for example, the age of consent is 17. So here it would have been a crime had you done that here. But I looked at every state in America because I thought it was I saw some people commenting on this on social media. In about 30 states in America, the age of consent is 16, the same as the UK. I'm not even sure most Americans are aware of that. About another dozen states, it's 17, another dozen or so, it's 18. So there's no uniformity around America, but actually, in the majority of states in America, it's the same as the United Kingdom, and therefore would not be a crime. Now, again, people can take a moral view about it. I think you took a moral view about what you were doing then. Interestingly, the GQ interview happened when you were about that age.
Yeah.
So it was going on then. And you used the word exploitative. Some people I've seen latch onto this and say, well, yeah, so he knows what he's doing is wrong. He knows that that was wrong. What is that line for you between exploiting, as a 30-year-old man, a 16-year-old girl, to the point where it becomes criminal, potentially? What is that line for you?
I suppose it's consent, Piers.
Right.
That the age of consent means, in varying ways, in different places, people have a understanding, which probably isn't wholly accurate and reliable, that at a certain age, a person is able to make a consensual decision to smoke a cigarette or vote or have sex or gamble, and these things vary according to jurisdiction. And
Just a disgusting, trifling human being. After this particular interview, I don't think anybody is taking this religious shtick seriously anymore. And I do feel like this interview exposed them and put a nail in the coffin for the grift. All right, let me know what y'all think, man. Do y'all feel like this interview made, Russell Brand look terrible and exposed them? And if you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here to find out how Rick Ross warned WAC 100 that the Hoover Crips in LA is going to hurt him if you don't stop doing this. Click on this video right here to find out what that is. I'm going to see you guys in this video. And if you want to support, send me a hype to this video, please. You can swipe over in the comment section and click the hype button to send me a hype. That's the best way to show support. I'm going to see you guys in this WAC 100 and Hoover video right here somewhere on my screen. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.